Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Cade. Welcome back again. I am with Haley. Thank you again, Haley, so much for joining us. So
Of
we
course.
have had a couple episodes now talking about our
Mhm.
rollers. And so today we're going to finish it up with the clear roller and talk a little bit beyond the roller about things you can do to keep your immune system functioning at its best. And, ooh, God forbid if crisis happens, what we can do to
Yep.
treat something naturally or help our body fight off something naturally the best that we can. So, Haley, what I kind of in preparation for this, we were talking about not forgetting the basics for our immune system and for our overall health. So we talked a little bit about stress and sleep, hydration, exercise, toxicity. So which one of those do you want to start with to help keep things away and keep our immune system functioning its best?
Yeah, so I think the first thing that we'll touch on here is sleep. Sleep is so important, and it's something that often, as parents or as people that, work very busy jobs, it's something that we don't think about often, and we're not getting our full 8 to 10 hours of sleep. So sleep is so important to allow your body to heal and to help when you are stressed, your body has that time to actually kind of shut down and repair some of those things. So sleep is so, so important. Um, We can talk about hydration next. Another one that gets missed often. It's so, so important to hydrate um, throughout the day to make sure that all the systems in your body are working properly. And then my personal favorite for stress reduction, exercise. So exercise is always something that, again, is one that gets overlooked, but keeping your body busy, even just for 30 minutes a day, whether it's walking or doing a hit workout or playing with your kids, is super helpful for maintaining what we call the seeds of good health.
Cool. Very cool. I love that you put it that way. And I think the theme through sleep and through hydration and through exercise is not just about the quantity of any of those things in your life, but the quality of those things in your life. So
Hmm.
if we just start with sleep, I feel like a broken record because I talk about it all the time, but I'm a big fan of the Aura Ring, where it's keeping track of the quality of your sleep and the sleep phases that you're getting into. And so you might be sleeping, for 8 hours, but really is that restorative, restful sleep? And is your immune system getting an opportunity to heal, like you were talking about? Hydration is the same thing, making sure that we're getting the right water, the right mineral content, the right
Hmm.
blend in there to help our body heal. And lastly, exercise. I think this is the one that I am weakest at, trying to make time for, owning a couple businesses and being a husband and being a daddy. Exercise is really, really tough. But when I do get a chance to do it, I want to make the most of it. So it's short, it's quick, but it is intense. My heart rate is up. And I know that I'm getting the benefits of that human growth hormone, for another
Hmm.
24 to 48 hours afterwards. So sleep, hydration, and exercise. Any other ones there in the basics? Because again, the reason why we're bringing this up, Haley, is because when we do get sick, it's almost like we're reaching to out supplement a poor lifestyle, right?
Hmm.
We're reaching for a
Hmm.
medication to out medicate our poor lifestyle when that crisis happens. But if we can be good at these basics, that crisis is going to be further and further for us to get to and further for us to reach. So, what beyond those three do we need to talk about?
Yep. So food is also a big one in there. Of course, we talk about food all the time. Removing some of the kind of inflammatory foods is going to be really helpful in your lifestyle. So things like grains, dairy, and sugar can be some of the first things that we can remove because those things can even affect things like your sleep or things like your energy levels when you're ingesting too many of those things. So food is super important to have on there. And then toxicity. So we've talked a bit about toxicity on our website before. So if you go and look through our blog, we have a couple posts there about toxicity, but removing toxic items, whether they're in your phone, in your home, on your body, super important as well for those good seeds. And then lastly, chiropractic. So I know Dr. Cade can talk all day about this, but even just one adjustment can boost your immune system by 200%, which is just crazy.
It's so cool. I don't think that gets enough attention, and that was actually a study a while back in the late 2000s that did blood serum levels. They drew blood and checked for a component in the blood called interleukin 2 before an adjustment and after an adjustment. And interleukin 2 is a white blood cell modulator, which of course is what, helps us create an immune defense against pathogens, whether it's bacterial or viral. And so again, it was 200% greater after that chiropractic adjustment, specifically to the mid thoracic. And so we really don't know of anything else on planet Earth that does that. And so chiropractic is fantastic. Again, not to be used just when you're in pain, but to help your
Right.
body function and heal better. I think that's so cool that you brought that up. Thank you, Haley. So let's talk a little bit next, I guess, about specifics. I've got a bunch of products here to share with everybody.
Mhm.
But just again, as a reminder, like Haley said, we'll link it here in the description. But we've got some great articles on sleep. We've got some our wonderful medicine cabinet must-haves, again, for both prevention and crisis, and just some things that are really cool outside the box there, going into each one of these back to the basic topics, the seeds of health that we're really talking about here. So prevention wise, we are going to talk about some simple things like vitamin C and vitamin D and probiotics. And I've got my favorite brands here to talk about, but I just want to make sure that we're not going to jump into dosing specifics. We don't know if you're pregnant, of course, neither one of us are your doctor, your physician. So we're not going to talk about dosing specifics, but we are going to talk again about some really simple things and safe things and effective things that you can do into your daily health routine to improve your immune system. So let's talk about vitamin D first. And the one that I've got here is Thorne. I love this brand. And if you ever do some high dosing with this, we have got to be careful because you can see that there's some vitamin K on there. But
Mhm.
vitamin D is more of a hormone than it is a vitamin. And so we always recommend that you get your blood levels checked so that we can optimize your dosing. And they estimate that up to 80% of people, sometimes I think some statistics even say more, here in Southwest Florida,
Yes.
over 80% of people are deficient in vitamin D. That
Mhm.
blows me away. And so I believe we also have our sun safety article up that kind of talks about ways that you can optimize your vitamin D levels, even an app that can tell you when the best times to hit those UVB rays are. But this is fantastic. So when you're in prevention mode, make sure that you're getting this in a maintenance amount if you've already optimized your blood levels. Next one, Haley, I think we should talk about vitamin C. And this is so safe. It's so simple. It's so cheap that it's almost silly not to have vitamin C be a part of your routine. And so the one that I'm looking at right here is one from Seeking Health. And this is a liposomal vitamin C. It is made here in the United States. It's made with, sunflower lecithin instead of made from a soy, as that's the fat that binds it to make it liposomal. But our absorption of that goes up, and there's no sugar in it. It is a little tart, I'll warn you, but it is fantastic. Our kids take it, and that's again why I have a liquid here, is because the dosing is so simple. No big chunky pills to swallow or things to drink. It's just nice and simple and easy. So between those two, Haley, anything else you want to mention about vitamin C and vitamin D before? Okay, you're giving me the green light to keep going.
I think
Okay.
you're good.
I'm going to keep going. So the next one, I think for prevention, that's a no-brainer, is a probiotic. And there's a ton of research out there about the benefits of probiotics, including the gut health, where the overwhelming majority of our immune system lives. And it's linked to brain health and skin health and pretty much everything else. So probiotics are a must. And you saw I put up the brand Terraflora. I think that this
Mhm.
is a great spore-based probiotic, and it also has a mineral blend and a prebiotic blend in there too. And if you're little ones, there's plenty of blends out there for your little ones. But if you want to, you can even open up one of those capsules. The strains are fantastic. And what it does is create fertile ground in the gut so that there will be diversity when you add in other probiotic rich foods like kimchi or kombucha. So that's 3 of my 5. I'm going to keep going, Haley. The next one I'm going to talk
You
about is trace minerals. And this one is another from Thorne. And most people right now are searching for zinc. And
Mhm.
this one has zinc, the 15 milligrams of zinc in it, which is fantastic. But it also has selenium, which is another known powerful antioxidant. So this is great, a tiny little pill. And if you just do one of these a day, there's 90 capsules in it. And the price we just match online, it's $17. This is so hard to beat. It's so simple and it's cheap. It's a staple in our medicine cabinet for the entire family. And last one, this is the best tasting one of all of them. And this is somebody that's going to be joining us in our giveaway here coming up. So make sure that you stay tuned. Are these Kids Immune Gummies? And they are made from the company Bare Necessities. I'll make sure I get that logo on there. They're fantastic. And you can see some of the ingredients here: vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, echinacea, and elderberry. My kids go nuts over these. These are the best tasting immune gummies I've ever tasted. My kids go nuts. And when they're asleep and I need a bedtime snack, I find myself reaching for these more often than not. And so it's an easy thing to justify. There's only 1 gram of sugar in here. This is fantastic for prevention. And if you need to dose up, you can always dose up with something like this for you and for the kids. Whew, that's a lot. I need to quiet down for a little bit. Haley, let's jump into crisis a little bit. How do we
Yes.
know? How do we know when we're getting into crisis? I'm going to pose that difficult question to you. That's a difficult question.
Yes. So I think for a lot of people, the very first sign is a fever. So a fever is actually something that, we in our bodies have been using as a way to help get better forever from the beginning of history. So what your body does when you get a fever is it's essentially heating up to kill off whatever is bad inside your body. So what a lot of people do nowadays is we're treating that fever. We're trying to get rid of that fever. But what the fever is actually doing is helping your body to heal itself. So I think Dr. Cade, you can talk a little bit more about this as well.
I've got the biggest smile on my face. I'm so proud of you, Haley. I love you so much. That was awesome. And I think that's really it. So many of us are focusing on the symptoms of sickness these days and treating the symptoms instead of really respecting the body working and healing itself. So you use the example of a fever. Another example would be sneezing, or another example would be
Hmm.
diarrhea, right? None of those things are fun. None of those things are pretty, but it's our body's natural defense system. It's hardwired into all of us from a very, very young age. Our body knows what to do. And again, it's so important that we really just hit the brake pedal and we say, what is the body trying to do? What is it trying to accomplish? How can I work with it instead of shutting it up? Another, example would be if there's a fire alarm right up over the door here. It's one that blinks really loud and blinks really bright, and it makes a lot of loud noise. And for me, if that went off right now, I wouldn't go cut the cord and shut it up. I would go, why is it doing this? I need to figure out
Hmm.
where the true problem and the true danger lies. So great example, Haley. I love it. I'm so proud of you. That literally just made my day and put the biggest smile on my face. So let's talk about some more things that we can do, of course, when we are in crisis mode. We always recommend working closely with a doctor to make sure that you're making the
Hmm.
right steps. But we talked about C and D and some of the other immune supporting products we just talked about. You can always work slowly and dose up on those things. Of course, be smart, spread them out throughout the day, and get some more information from your doctor. But that's a great thing. When you do get a little bit further along, I absolutely love homeopathy. I'm starting to get more and more comfortable and familiar with it. This is a great brand, and of course, it's got this USDA organic certification here. So this is a homeopathic remedy, and they make a couple different ones: some for fever, some for sore throat, some for just colds, some for allergies. Super, super cool, and they taste fantastic. Our kids think that these are candy as well. Another one that I'm a huge fan of, it's a potent herbal antimicrobial. Things like grapefruit seed extract. Ooh, I'm not too good with the camera there. Grapefruit seed extract and oregano. So this is potent and this is powerful. It's a brand called Biocidin. And so they make them in capsules and they make them in liquids so that you can dose for the entire family. This is not one that you do on a regular preventative basis. You keep this in the medicine cabinet in case of crisis, and this will make a huge, huge difference. And we have a great pediatrician in town that we work with very closely. That's how I learned about this Biocidin, and that's one that he recommends consistently to families. Next one, and really the last one when you are in crisis, is going to be colloidal silver. Now, I've got two different ways here. We've got a spray that you can use topically and orally, and then we've got a topical gel. I love this brand, this Results RNA brand. It's a nano-based silver, and it also has some glutathione in there. So it's a very potent natural antimicrobial, so antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. So it does have its limits for sure, but it's something that you can use at home safely in your natural medicine cabinet when you need it. Now, I think Dr. Jockers is on our medical advisory board. He's got a great video about this specific brand of silver and how effective it is. But we've had families use this stuff for the last 10 years for a variety of things, which I won't list now, but you can be so flexible and so creative with it. And again, it's all about empowering you as a parent or you as an individual at home so you don't have to be dependent on synthetic medication when you do get into a rough spot. Make sense?
Oh, makes sense.
Cool. That was a lot. We really
It
didn't
was
talk
a lot.
We really didn't talk too much about our roller either, though, did we? So I think maybe we should do that. We should talk about the clear roller. I love this. Another staple that needs to be in the medicine cabinet. So there's some real calming oils in there, like lavender,
Hmm.
but there's also some stronger essential oils, like tea tree, that will help your body, be preventative in nature, help support your immune system for it to do its own thing. It is not a cure, but it is certainly helpful in your immune system to create a natural defense. Of course, there's also CBD in there. What do we have in there now? We've got 50 milligrams of CBD in there. And so
Hmm.
those things work cohesively together to calm, to relax, and to strengthen that immune system so that we're not creating a response that's too low against the pathogen or a response that's too high to that pathogen.
Right.
So, all right, Haley, what else we got?
I think that's all we have, but, really quick, I just wanna circle back to those seeds of good health. Make sure we're remembering things and we're doing these things, again, to prevent any kind of serious crisis. And then when you are in a crisis mode, still remembering some of those things like sleep are so, so important. Hydration, especially when you have something like a fever or you're experiencing diarrhea or something like that. Still getting that hydration and getting that water in. We'll link our medicine cabinet again to the description below, so you can see some of the ways that we can um, remineralize the water. But yeah, definitely wanted to circle back, make sure that we're remembering some of those things as well.
Such a fun guide. It's so simple. And again, there's some really cool outside the box things, mixing essential oils in, aromatherapy, light therapy, optimizing vitamin D levels. And again, just giving you more confidence that wherever you are, whether it's prevention or whether it starts to turn into crisis, it's really about, having your own tools. And most of the time
Exactly.
it doesn't turn into a crisis. If it does, we know where to go. Thank God that we've got access to some of the best emergency medical care on the planet here in America, right? But if we can avoid using that system as much as we can and keeping ourselves healthy, that's where the magic is. So, again, our rollers, I believe, are still on sale right now,
Yes.
both individually and in full sets, which continue to
Hmm.
move very quickly. People are very excited about those. But we are also doing a pretty big giveaway coming up here soon. We don't have all of the details lined up quite yet, but among the brands that we're going to be partnering with is going to include these amazing kids' immune gummies. So thank you guys for joining us once again, and make sure that you head over to our website, rootedapoth.com. We've got a great newsletter there with discounts and deals and latest news, along with all these great topics and articles that we talk about that Haley takes such great care in curating. It's awesome. Thank you so much for doing that, Haley.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, again, thank you guys for joining us. So until the next time, we are officially done with our rollers. Now we're going to start talking about some of our other products and topics. So I should say, lastly, in closing, if you do ever have any questions or things that we want to, or you want us to cover, whether it's a personal or whether it's a broad topic, shoot us an email, hello@rootedapoth.com, and we would be so excited to cover some stuff that you are interested in. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Haley. Have an
Of
awesome day,
course.
everybody.
Yeah.